Hi, and welcome to this workshop on the 5 steps of career goal setting. My name is Joyce Baker, and I am the lead career coach at the Fort Wayne campus, Career Coaching and Employer Connections Department. So today I would just like to talk with you about setting career goals. Today's discussion includes the following. What are career goals? How to set career goals, and then the 5 steps, which are know yourself, brainstorm career options, research your top career choices, try a work and learn experience, and finally start the decision-making process. What are career goals? And how do you set them? So let's start with this video. I'll go ahead and hit play.
If you guys want to kind of just scoot in a little bit and then kind of just, you'll all
Just hey.
You got the idea.
I think to set career goals, it's really important to know yourself and what you like to do and also what you're good at. So we think of it as like a Venn diagram, and you want to find kind of that bullseye center. So for example, let's say that you are passionate about technology, and that's great, but actually your aptitudes and your skills relate more to communication and sales. Frankly, the labor market needs people who sell technology platforms, who sell those technology-enabled products. And so that's a good combination of where you're hitting the bullseye in all 3 of those Venn diagrams.
So what do I want to be in 5 or 10 years? Write it down. Take magazines, you cut them out, and you paste it on your whiteboard. You can print images out. You can paste all these wonderful things up, and it's a visual reminder. And using your own words is a reminder every day to pursue whatever it is you want to do, to always never give up, and that is your goal.
I feel like you don't set goals, you don't have any plans. You don't know what to follow. It puts you in the mindset of, okay, well, now that I have this goal in mind, I should go and achieve it.
And I would add on to that, when you have goals, you're able to verbalize what it is that you want to achieve, and somehow it makes it feel a little more reachable, a little more tangible, that you can get there.
You may know what you want to do 10 and 20 years from now, but I think you have to set smaller, attainable goals along the way to reach. So, because that future goal may change, but setting those goals just a few years out to make sure that you have some direction and some focus, but not too far out that you lose sight of immediately what you're doing.
As long as you're working towards something, and I say it all the time, write it down so you can cross it off. I did that.
You know, a goal without a plan is a wish. So if you're not creating some strategies and holding yourself accountable on what you've done over a period of time, and if that is incrementally getting you towards that goal, and maybe you need to revise the timeline.
If it didn't happen within the time frame that you set, now it's time to rethink this and readjust.
I mean, I guess that's another piece of advice I think of, is that, you know, your career goals should not be static. You should be reevaluating them every 3 to 5 years, because you're a changing individual, hopefully, but also the world is just changing so quickly that we need to stay on top of that.
It changes with everything that you do, with kids, with a different degree, with different companies you go to. It's like it's always changing.
The job I have now, I didn't even know existed when I was in my 20s, but it's been all the experiences thus far that have kind of prepared me for this opportunity.
Okay. So I thought that video was really good, and one line that really stood out for me is that a goal without a plan is just a wish. A goal without a plan is just a wish. Think about that for a minute.
If you guys want to
Okay, I don't want to play again. All right, so this is actually me in the picture. I'm on your right, and I'm with my friend Mandy. This is back in 1982. I had gone to college down in Kentucky, a small Christian college, and I really did not know why I was there. I visited the college with my parents prior to enrolling, and I just felt a lot of pressure to make a decision. I did not even feel well that day, and I just wanted it to get over with. So I remember after the tour of the campus, meeting a couple different people, and my parents said, "Okay, what do you think of this place?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll go here." I just wanted it to end. I just wanted to go home and relax. So I made a decision to attend a college, based on how I felt that day. And I had no idea even what I wanted to pursue or what my goal was as far as a career path. I think I enrolled in education, but it really had no impact on me because I can't even remember if I actually did enroll in education. So I was there a year and a half, and after a year and a half, I dropped out and kind of started a long path of wandering aimlessly. So that is a short story of my early days in college. And my hope is that this talk will prevent those of you watching from going down a similar path. Honestly, I mean, it took me a long time to figure out what I really wanted to do. And had I known early what my interests truly were and what I wanted to do as far as a career, it would have been a much better situation. So just a little brief story about me in my early days. So how do you set and meet career goals? Number one is you need to know yourself, okay? And when I say that, I mean know what your interests are, know what you're passionate about. What do you enjoy doing? What matters to you when it comes to work? Do you value income? Do you value lifestyle, having time to spend with friends and family? Maybe you value creativity or innovation or independence. It's important that you know what you value and what you are interested in. There are many tools out there that can help you discover yourself. And on the screen, I have 4 listed. Indiana Career Explorer, also known as INCE, is the tool that we use at Ivy Tech. It is a 3-part assessment as part of this format. The first part is an interest assessment. The second is a skills confidence assessment. And the third is a work values assessment. You simply go to the website that you see on the screen, and you can register as a college student. You can take those 3 assessments, and then you will get results immediately. And you can use those results to really explore occupations. Another excellent tool can be found at onetonline.org. They have an interest profiler there and does not require any registration, but you can go to that site and you can do a quick 60-question assessment to determine your interests. It does not take long, maybe 5 minutes. Another free assessment can be found at high5test.com and then viacharacter.org. So these 2 sites are very interesting because the High 5 test has a quick free assessment you can do. You get your results right away, as well as VIA kind of points to your character traits and how that could apply toward an occupation or a career. So I would suggest these 4 assessments, choose 1 or 2, and really get to know yourself. It's very important to do that. Number 2 is Brainstorm. So once you've gotten to know yourself better and you've taken an assessment or two, sit down with a pad of paper and a pencil and just brainstorm. Write down anything that comes to mind that would match your interests, anything that you have interest in, anything you've thought of doing maybe all your life or just recently. Write them all down and just brainstorm. There are no right or wrong answers here. Just write everything down that you've thought about doing. Next, take a look at that list and choose maybe your top 3 that you really have strong interest in, and then research. So let's say I've written down 50 different occupations that I have an interest in. One of the top occupations for me might actually be graphic design. I'm creative, I love to create. So graphic design is in my top 3, and I can just get on my laptop, go online, and do some research on graphic design. I can go to LinkedIn, look up people who are doing graphic design work. How did they get there? I can find jobs through LinkedIn for graphic design. I can go to onetonline.org, the place that I did that assessment. I can put in that job title, graphic designer, and I can learn all about the skills it takes, the education it may take, how much money I could possibly make. So do your research. It's very important. It's easy to do. Just go online. Or if you know someone doing that job, you could talk to them. You could email them, call them up, find out what they think of it. Okay. Number 4, try it. So how can you try it if you don't have it? I would suggest that you could maybe job shadow someone. So let's take the example of a graphic designer. Who might I know who is a graphic designer? Well, honestly, I don't really know of anyone. I know of a professor at Ivy Tech who teaches it, so I could reach out to her and maybe she could connect with me with someone who actually does that work. Chances are she will know somebody, and I could contact that person and see if they would allow me just to watch them work for a couple hours and see what I think of it. I could also contact that individual and ask for an informational interview. So an informational interview is where you go, and this is kind of between the research and the trying, but it's where you would go meet with that person or talk to them via Zoom or a phone call and just ask them questions about what they do. And that provides you with information. Another way to try a job would be an internship. So here at Ivy Tech, we work really hard to ensure that our students have access to internships. So I would contact the Career Coaching and Employer Connections Department at Ivy Tech, and I would say, hey, I'm interested in this position, in this career path. I would love to find an internship to help me understand it better and maybe test drive it. So try it out. Number 5 is start the process. So start the decision-making process. You have learned more about yourself, okay? You've brainstormed different occupations. You've done your research. You've learned more about those occupations. And you've tried maybe your top two or 3. And now it's time to start making a decision and starting that process. So you gather all the information that you've obtained through these steps, and then you start to make a decision. And then write that down. Like the video said, once you have some goals in mind and you've made a decision, write them down. When you do that, they become more tangible, and they're not just a wish or a dream out there. It's something that you've actually written down, you've thought about it, and you can look at it and you can work toward that goal. So you might want to first write down a goal for the next year, and then you might want to have a goal for the next 5 years, or even go into the next 10 years. But start with something right now that you can work toward this year. Start the process. Your career goal, just like really any goal, in order for it to be effective, it should be SMART. And when I say SMART, I'm talking about the acronym SMART. So that stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. That goal should be specific, not just someday I would like to help people. How about my goal is that I become a teacher. I want to be an elementary teacher, and I want to really help mentor and guide and teach children. So that's specific. Measurable. How do you know when you've gotten to your goal? So you have to have a measure of, okay, my goal is to be a teacher. My first step would be to go to Ivy Tech and major in elementary education, get an associate's degree. I will know when I have done that when I get my diploma, right? So that's measurable. And then once you've gotten your associates, you can move on to a 4-year college, and your goal then would be to get your bachelor's degree, right? Okay, it also needs to be achievable. I'm sitting here thinking about a goal. I'm 58. I live in Indiana. I have family here in Indiana. But my goal is to be a fashion model in Paris. Well, that just is not achievable. That's not going to happen. So I know that's kind of an extreme example, but I am not ever going to achieve that goal. If I set that goal for myself, I am going to be very disappointed. So make sure the goal that you set is achievable. Otherwise, you will get frustrated and you will be disappointed. And really, only you know, because you know yourself, whether or not your goal is achievable for you, right? So be very, very self-aware and understand that your goal needs to be achievable. It also needs to be relevant. I also like to say the R stands for realistic, but relevant to where you are now, what you want to do, relevant to your skills, relevant to your work values, and then realistic. So realistic goes kind of hand in hand with being achievable, right? And then timely. So if you can have a time frame in which you want to achieve your goal, that will help you achieve it. That will help you reach it. So once again, I am a 58-year-old woman. I have grandchildren. I have a husband. I have children here in Indiana. That part of who I am may not matter that much, but the age thing matters a little bit. If I decided now that I wanted to become a doctor, okay, time, I would need to start over from the very beginning and get my bachelor's degree, get my master's or whatever it takes to go to med school, and it would take years. It would take a good 10 years at least. I would be ready to retire by the time I was done. So you need to make sure that it is a timely goal and a goal that you can reach within a certain amount of time. And that time frame needs to be something that you have agreed upon, that you've agreed that that's a good chunk of time that you're willing to dedicate to reaching that goal. So your career goal should be SMART. That is my presentation on setting career goals, the 5 steps to setting career goals. My name is Joyce Baker. I am the lead career coach with the CCEC at Ivy Tech, Community College, Fort Wayne, Warsaw. My email address is jbaker86@ivytech.edu. And our website, which has just a ton of great information for you. You can find our website at https://link.ivtech.edu/all caps FWCCEC. Thank you so much for listening today, and I hope to talk to you soon. Thank you.